people lose their faith because heaven shows them too little? But how many people lose their faith because heaven shows them too much?
You are now listening to the Going North podcast, where you'll receive tips and techniques to advance yourself. I'm your host, Dom Brightman, and every week we're going to be hearing from an author who's going to share their expertise to help you charge forward in life. On a quick side note, be sure to check out Going North the book. It's available in ebook, audio, as well as paperback form for those who love to read a traditional book. Now let's get on with the show. And today on the Going North podcast, we bring you some fabulous humans from across the globe. Today's no different because we got a returning guest into his house, baby. That's right. One of the most popular guests on this podcast is back, baby. My man knows how to work a vision and build a brand. He is the best-selling author of 2 books with another 2 books on the horizon. My man is persistent, and my man has endurance, baby. If you want to be inspired and motivated to chase after your dreams and fulfill it, this man right here is the one to help you do it. He is the best-selling author of the book called The Power of the Seed, as well as Soulful Prayers Volume 1. My man is a doctor, a businessman, and his aim is to inspire those to chase their dreams using their God-given abilities. The one, the only Dr. Eric Holmes. How you feeling, man?
I'm good, Brother Dom. All is good. All is well, man. I appreciate it. You know, it's an honor, a privilege to be on here to share with you and just appreciate all you're doing and just the inspiration and example you are. And, you know, as we call you the podcast of podcasts, you know, for all you do and all the people that you allow to come on and share. So I am great. All is good and all is well.
Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about. All is well with the extra water, indeed. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Back for a third time, baby. Back for a third time. Making it the charm. That's right, indeed. Almost quite fitting for Charm City.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So my man's 2 books in. So is there anything that you wish you would have done differently now that you've been through the book publishing process twice so far? One is a solo project and the other one is a co-author project.
Just continue to invest and would continue to just even push the brand even the more, even though I'm doing that. But there's always, you know, and with the pre-sales and continue to, you know, I would have continued to push the pre-sales even the more. But you gain that information, you gain that knowledge, that wisdom. And so as you're going forward, you know what to continue to do and to build upon the foundation.
There you go. There you go, indeed. It was probably the biggest thing when it comes to building on your foundation, because some folks, they may like, man, how do I even get a foundation of even starting a book?
You've got to make sure you've done your research, get a mentor, and you got to really push over challenges, push over circumstances and situations. There will be challenges, there will be circumstances, and things will come up, even things unexpected. But one thing you have to do is push beyond that, press, push, and pursue purpose, as I always say. And you got to continue to go over. You may have stumbling blocks. You may have speed bumps. But as my pastor would say, it just slows you down, but you got to keep on going. That's all they are, is just to slow you down. But you got to keep on going. And even when you get frustrated or when things seem to not be going in your direction or going your way or seems like things are slow, you still got to push over and beyond it. Then get someone that can help you and get someone that would mentor you and get someone that believes in your vision, believes in your brand, and that could pull what's in you out of you, and that will just push you just a little bit further.
Amen to that, indeed. Need those folks around you to push you further, man. Like you mentioned mentors. What's probably the best advice you want to give to someone who's looking to have a mentor in their life for certain aspects of life? It could be like a spiritual mentor, or even a book mentor.
You need someone who is prayerful. You need someone who has wisdom and knowledge, but then also has your best interest at heart. And then that they can pour into you and invest in you. But then you, as the mentee, as the student, you have to be willing to be open and willing to learn. But you definitely need to get someone who is in that area of whatever the expertise or in that area of where you're trying to go. If it's an author, you need someone who is an author. Financial management, you can't have someone in a different arena if they're not in financial management. So make sure you pray to get someone in whatever area that you're working in.
That's what I'm talking about. Solid advice right there, indeed. Solid advice right there. And who was your mentor with your books as well? I'm pretty sure you probably had someone who may have inspired you to become an author.
Yeah, one of them was, of course, Miss Cheryl Pelote Williamson, who is a visionary of Soulful Prayers, and also two of my aunts who helped me with reading and doing corrections. And so I had a couple different people who were, and then also I had a coach, even with the publishing company. So I had a couple mentors.
There you go, man. That's right indeed. Not only going outside, but also keeping it in the family. That's what I'm talking about. What's probably been the biggest lesson you learned so far since releasing your second book? Because you got this other, actually, if I'm not mistaken, two other books. It's a workbook as well as Soulful Prayers Volume 2, right?
Yes.
Yes, indeed. So any lessons that you've learned so far after the first two have been released that you plan on applying to these upcoming books at this new incoming year?
Yes, always push and strive to excel what you've already done. Continue to market, continue to build, continue to do even more research, continue to make sure that you have all your products, and continue to just make sure that you're moving in the right direction.
That's right. No pun intended today, but definitely moving in the right direction indeed. So any thoughts on these two upcoming books? There's Soulful Prayers Volume 2, and then there's also the workbook. Tell us a little bit more about the workbook.
The workbook is in conjunction with the first book, The Power of the Seed, which is going to be a workbook, a guide to help you with your seed so people will understand, in reference to the process of seeding and sowing, the process and preparation of what it takes. But there's a guide that's going to help you in reference to the whole process, the preparation, the seeding, the sowing, and then understanding how powerful it is and how to sow and seed properly, and then the necessary steps that you have to take and waiting for the process of the harvest.
There we go right there. There we go right there. Is there going to be an audio in the works for The Power of the Seed?
I am definitely already going to be working on that. Been talking with some key people who also does that. So I've been talking with them.
Yeah, man. Heck, maybe even a motivational mixtape of like all of your sermons, man.
Oh, that sounds good too.
Yes, indeed. That's right. The best of Dr. E. Holmes, baby. That's right. You got Eric Thomas. We need some Eric Holmes, baby. Well, my man's been on a media appearance train, indeed, taking over the whole city as well as the whole globe. So, since my man gets asked a lot of questions in media, is there a particular question that you wish folks would ask you more often?
What did it actually take to get to where you are? Some people may ask, but a lot of people, sometimes, don't want to really ask questions, and sometimes you got to pull it out of them. But what caused me to even push beyond current situations, circumstances, or, even challenges, and what caused me to continue to move forward?
Oh, yes, indeed, because you went through a lot, especially with the first book, busy holding down 2 full-time jobs, getting your doctorates, and of course the loss of your mother too on top of all that, man.
Yes.
And that's one heck of an uphill battle to get that book
Yes.
out.
It was definitely, challenges, and definitely with the loss of my mother, which was a major, major part of me, my heart. So even in that, but then one thing I said in my class the other day was that I could hear her saying, don't quit, never quit. And so I said to the class, in my powerful public speaking class, that quitting is not an option. You got to press, push, and pursue. So quitting is not an option.
Amen to that, indeed. You're definitely right about that. Quitting is definitely not an option, man, because you never know who you'll be able to inspire, and I'm pretty sure you've inspired at least hundreds of people so far, man, because you got the best of both worlds. Of course, you're in Baltimore, but you also got family out in Pennsylvania too, and you've been traveling all over the country too, spreading your message. So it's good that you didn't quit.
Yeah, because somebody else is dependent on your testimony, your wisdom, your words, your encouragement. I talk about it. I do a radio show on Power 4.4 Radio on Fridays from 9 p.m. to 11 called The Power of Influence with Dr. E. And so somebody's listening. Somebody's needing encouragement. Somebody's needing to be inspired. And the thing about it is, we have the word for whomever God assigns to us. And that individual might need encouragement, might need a word of hope, may need that just push to say you can make it just a little bit further.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Congrats on your radio show, man. I didn't know it was on Friday evenings.
Yes, 9 p.m. to 11.
There we go. That's the real party folks need to go to right there.
Yes.
That's the real party right there. That's right. Turn up with Dr. D on Friday nights on the Power of Influence, baby. That's the real turn up right there. If you got the bottle, put it down. Unless it's water. You can put that up. You can put down the alcohol, but put up the water. Put up the water. So in addition to the voice of your mom telling you not to quit, what else you think it takes to never give up and not quit on your God-given vision?
It takes prayer. It takes faith. And then, it takes people that you confide in or people that you may, as a role model and example, that, someone you may need to talk to, or sometimes we need someone to hear us. But you have to have those people around you that's going to push you beyond the situation or the circumstance. But it takes prayer. It takes faith. It takes your belief. It takes your relationship with God. And that's going to help you to go further. That's going to help you to continue. That's going to help you to go continue to push through and push over, push beyond.
Prayer is definitely powerful and it changes things. If not mistaken, part of your prayer schedule is 1 a.m., right?
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And if I'm not mistaken, like David did the same thing, if not something similar, right? Had 2 specific times a day to pray in the morning and in the night.
Yeah, and so those help me when I'm dealing with situations, or if I'm dealing with challenges, or just dealing with life in general. Prayer, definitely. And that's why with Soulful Prayers is so powerful, because it is intentional communication with God. These prayers and Soulful Prayers, it is amazing divine assignment, because it deals with so many different areas in life. Every page, every chapter. I did one on personal finance. Somebody else did one on grief. Someone did on the loss of a child. Someone else did one on marriage. Someone did one on divorce. Someone did one on forgiveness. And so it has so many different areas that will help in the individual, because at some point we all experience one of those prayers, or if not more.
You're right about that, man. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, man, because that financial healing probably would have prevented the divorce and vice versa, if not beforehand.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So since you are a praying man who has prayed some great prayers up to heaven that heaven's heard, any advice for those who are of the faith and they are struggling in their prayer life and they haven't gotten on a good prayer habit, a routine prayer habit? Any advice for them to get back on that habit?
You got to keep doing it in anything, like with whatever it is, and like it becomes a part. You know, it becomes a part of your everyday. You got to keep doing it. You got to be consistent. You just got to keep going and keep at it. And then now it becomes part of what you do and part of who you are. But you got to be consistent. You got to continue in the faith. You got to continue in your prayers. You got to continue, you know, and the more you do it with anything, it becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of who you are.
Yeah, man, it's true. It's part of your daily routine, man. It's kind of like the whole gym. It's like you got to work out daily,
Yeah.
man. It's like you gotta. It's kind of like food, if not like breakfast in a way. You gotta have that daily. Gotta have the spiritual food daily, man. And that's a way to get it. So a magical question for all the returning guests, and that is if you were called to give the final keynote speech of your life, and everyone had to listen to it for generations to come, what would be the main points of that message?
Never quit. Always push, press, and pursue. And no matter what happens in life, continue to move forward. Continue to focus and continue to be determined. And never let your vision or your dreams die. Continue to dream because they become reality and then they become the manifestation. It's only when you stop dreaming.
Amen to that, amen to that. That's right. Never stop dreaming at all. That's right. Never stop dreaming and work to manifest those
Work the
dreams.
vision and build the brand.
That's right. That's right. Heck, indeed. Actually, since you mentioned that, what's probably the best advice you want to give to someone starting out when it comes to building their brand?
One, you got to get research. One, you got to put in the work. And a lot of times people don't want to do the work, but you got to put in the work. You got to do the research. And you got to make sure stuff is in writing, because there's a difference between, sometimes people don't know, with a trade name or trademark or your brand and so many different things. Make sure it's in writing. If you're in the Maryland area, some people go 311 West Preston Street, the state office building. You got to make sure stuff is in writing. You got to make sure you do your research. You got to make sure stuff is in order.
Amen to that. That's right. Make sure stuff is in order indeed. So for those who want to get things in order and order copies of your books as well as some clothing from your wonderful clothing brand, what's the best way for folks to get in contact with you?
I'm on all social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, Dr. E. Holmes, Twitter, Dr. E, Facebook, Eric Holmes. Email me, ELYNNK1306@gmail.com. Also, The Power of the Seed and Soulful Prayers are in the libraries, or you can call me 443-682-5074.
Well, there you have it, folks. It's been 2.5 years. My man is still at the same, if not a higher energy level, working a vision and building a brand, baby. He's building it with bricks all the way up to heaven and beyond, my friends. So go out there and buy some copies of his wonderful books. I can even go to your local library, pick up a copy and read it. Shoot him an email, follow him on all the social medias. Let him know that you heard him on this podcast, and heck, even many others. My man's also got a show too. Check that out on Friday evenings from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. The Power of Influence with Dr. E, baby. That's right, indeed. So any parting words for the folks still listening?
Keep pushing, keep pressing, and just be the best that you can be. Be all that you can be, and continue to have prayer and faith, and your relationship with the Almighty is going to make a difference. And so you have the power to excel. You live on purpose, live each day with purpose, on purpose, for purpose, and allow your passion to push you to purpose, to connect with destiny.
How's it going, you super special, awesome human? Since you made it to the end of this episode, it looks like you really enjoyed yourself. Since you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with at least 3 people in your network and tell them what you really liked about this episode.